pressure reducing valve, or we call it as PRV. So what are the contents that we are going to study is why PRV is required and the impact of high pressure, types of PRV and their application, what are the problems caused if you do the incorrect PRV sizing, and I'll show you the 5 steps to design a PRV station. Now, why PRV is required? For example, you have a hose bib, you have a tap over here, okay, and the recommended pressure at this tap is 20 psi, say for example, 20 pounds per square inch, and the water is coming at a pressure of say 30 psi or 35 psi. Okay, so you need to reduce the pressure as the recommended pressure of this tap. So this you're gonna do with the help of pressure reducing valve. Okay, so PRV protects the building from water pressure that is higher than what the plumbing fixtures were designed to handle. So all the plumbing fixtures, for all the plumbing fixtures, there is some recommended pressure as per the different local codes and the standards. Okay, so to maintain that pressure, okay, so you have to reduce the pressure if it is higher than the recommended range. Now there is an important thing is, what is the impact of high pressure? Why we are placing it? If you not placed it, if the 35 psi will goes into into the step, what will happen? What are the consequences? Okay, so for example, if you have a, if you open a faucet, let's say for example 10 minutes at 80 psi. 80 psi is not recommended, but it is a higher pressure. So it uses 20 gallons of water. It will use 20 gallons of water. But if you reduce in the same condition, if you reduce the pressure from 80 to 50 psi, the water consumption will reduce by 50%, 25%, which is 5 gallons. Okay, so higher pressure leads to the higher consumption of water. As you can see from this pic also, at 50 psi it is delivering 30 gallons, 65 psi it is delivering 36, and as the pressure increases, the water quantity will also increase. Okay, so to maintain or to to conserve the water, to reduce the wastage of the water, so there is some recommended range in which we have to design the our water supply pipes. Now this will lower your water bills. Okay, lower the fixture damages due to the high pressure. Due to the high pressure, the fixtures may also damage, because the materials are selected for a specific pressure rating. Similarly, for the case of pipes and pipe fittings also. Energy conservation, you will save energy to save water, and there will be less maintenance, of course. So this is what the impact of pressure where PRV is required. So PRV is required if you talk about the application. It's in the commercial, residential, everywhere we have the excess of pressure. Where everywhere the PRV will be required where there is excess of pressure. But in the case, where do you install that? This is what you're asking. So you can install the PRV can either can be used individually on each floor. So it can be placed like this on each floor or in a riser. Okay, so riser means, for example, you have a multi-story building. Okay, so in that case, you divide the building into the zones. You have divided the building into the zones. So in that case, this is delivering to this one, this is delivering to this one, this is delivering to the upper two. Okay, so there are different zones and different risers are there. So if your building is divided into the zones, okay, so in that case, you can place a PRV in the riser. If it is not delivering 4 to 5 floors, so in that case, you can place a PRV in the riser. Otherwise, you have, if it is a single riser, You have, if it is a single riser supplying the water throughout the building, throughout all the floors, so better you place it for individual floors.